So we're almost finished, and the next thing we will look at is the follow-up register, which comes under the activity Identify Risks and Plan Responses, which is activity 6. So this is called Identify Risks and Plan Responses. We will use the follow-up register template, and we get that from the P3.express website. If you go into activity 6, you see here we have the follow-up register template. So you can download that and start using it. It's a simple Excel or spreadsheet template. And then we're going to fill in the risk register, in the risk, we're going to fill in the risk itself, then the impact on the project, and our response to that risk if we have a response already. Okay. Now you may ask, how do we identify risks, or where do risks come from? Well, a good way to do this is by looking at the deliverable map. And for all the deliverables, you ask, well, what's the risk associated with that deliverable? And that will give you some good ideas. Okay. So this is a very straightforward project. So let's say there are much less risks than normal projects, but we will come up with 2 examples anyway. So here I am back at the Trello board, and I click here on Follow-up Register on that card, and I click here on the link. And this is the follow-up register here, and we're going to fill in 2 risks here. So our first risk may be something to do with the 300 existing Q&A that we have actually for the driving test. So let's say that they are low quality. So we might put in something like the existing Q&A may be low quality and not useful. Okay. Then we have to put in the impact. So what's the impact on the project of this? Well, for example, the impact could be that users will not use the exam simulator then because it will not be very good, and the project will not meet its goals. So we want to get 10% growth in lessons. So let's put that in there. Then how do we respond to this? So what actions can we actually take on this? Well, perhaps we have to buy Q&A or we rebuild them ourselves. Okay, so let's put that in. Then we have 2 responses. Then the owner, who's the best person to own that, that's Larry O'Leary. He actually is a user representative in the project. He's mentioned in the project summary. So that's a good example of a risk that we put in, and we can put in the date there the risk was identified. Okay, that's an example of one risk. Let's do one more then. So let's say, what's another one? Let's say the WordPress theme. We could have a problem with finding a suitable WordPress theme because we've put in a lot of requirements. So we can say, okay, I'm not able to find a suitable WordPress theme to suit all our requirements. That makes sense. If you read it, it's good. The impact on this, well, we have to find another WordPress theme, and we may miss one of our requirements. Okay, so let's write that in there. Then our response. This is actually a more technical one, so we can just ask the technical person, well, come up with the next best WordPress theme that we actually have. So that's how we're going to respond to it. And the owner, that should be the technical guy. So that's Patrick Joyce, and we add the date as well. All right, so that's an example of how we build up the risk register. This follow-up register is used to follow up on risks, issues, and change requests as well. Okay, so you can select the type down here. And it's a good idea to actually call it a follow-up register because that's what the project manager does. They follow up on these on a daily basis, these items. So we like to put them in to the one. Some projects, they like to keep these separate, so a different tab for risks, a different tab for issues or changes. But that's up to you. But we just like to put it in one sheet to make it easy. And we call this the follow-up register.